At the edge of an ancient forest, a clever crow began his tale. He lived atop a lonely tree beside forgotten stones. The crow and his mate built their nest high for safety. Each season, they waited for tiny hearts to awaken. But beneath the tree lived a hungry, watchful serpent. Whenever new eggs appeared, the serpent stole them. The crow's heart broke as his home fell silent again. His mate tried to soothe him, but sorrow ran deep. One day, a wise elder spotted the young crow's grief. "Strength won't help you," said the elder. "Use your mind." The young crow leaned in, hungry for wisdom. "Your enemy is strong, but not clever," the elder said. "Steal what humans treasure most. They will chase the thief." The young crow set out toward the palace with courage. Guards stood near a luxurious bath pool, relaxed and watchful. Their jewels glittered under the sun, unguarded. The crow struck fast, grabbing the brightest treasure. Cries erupted as the guards ran after the flying thief. The crow raced home, leading his pursuers perfectly. He dropped the treasure exactly at the serpent's doorstep. The guards rushed in just as the serpent rose to strike. Startled and enraged, the serpent revealed itself. Humans reacted immediately to the danger. The serpent's reign of fear ended that very moment. From the branches above, the crow let out a hopeful cry. Satisfied, the guards collected the jewel and marched away. He flew home with a heart finally free of worry. Together, they mended the nest the serpent once haunted. Soon new eggs lay safe among the woven twigs. For the first time in years, the forest felt peaceful. They watched over their home with quiet devotion. Sunrise returned, bringing warmth to their hopes. News of the serpent's fall spread quickly among the forest. They admired the courage hidden in such a small creature. The crow had learned the true power of a clever mind. A gentle rain blessed the land with new life. Every branch seemed to whisper gratitude. Every branch seemed to whisper gratitude. Harmony settled back onto the land once troubled. The crow tended lovingly to his partner. Under the stars, the forest slept in safety again. He knew he had protected more than just his nest. Creatures drank side by side without fear. Courage radiated from the crow like light itself. Even the ruins seemed relieved of their heavy silence. The nest, once vulnerable, now stood unchallenged. Only a memory remained of the old threat. Life continued softly, without shadows of danger. The crow passed on wisdom earned through hardship. At last, tiny voices filled the nest with joy. The parents worked tirelessly, proud and grateful. Sunlight warmed the new beginning they had earned. The little ones prepared for their first flight. He knew the skies ahead were finally safe. The whole forest bloomed with life renewed. He flew above the past that once hurt him. The world felt lighter, brighter, gentler. He became the teacher he always needed. All admired the victory of wisdom over fear. Day ended in gold, blessing their peaceful world. And under the moon, the lesson remained clear. Just when peace felt real, danger crept back into the shadows. The serpent had returned hungrier, angrier, and far more cunning. It slithered upward with a single thought: revenge. A chill ran through the mother's feathers. Something was terribly wrong. The serpent's cold eyes locked onto the helpless chicks. She struck with all her strength, refusing to lose her babies. But the serpent was faster, stronger, and furious. Father Crow swooping in from the sky angrily. Together, they launched a desperate fight for their family. A single blow from the serpent almost shattered the nest apart. A tiny chick slipped toward the edge, seconds from death. With lightning speed, the father caught his child from the abyss. Seeing its prey slipping away, the serpent grew violent. The old branch creaked. Danger now hung over everyone. The parents knew they couldn't keep fighting like this. The serpent was relentless. Night was his battlefield. Desperate, the father flew to find a new way to outsmart the beast. If the serpent returned stronger, you must become wiser, the owl warned. The owl stares in the darkness with glowing eyes. Your first trick weakened him. Your next one must end him forever. The father flew into the night, carrying the owl's warning in his heart. He had to find something powerful, something the serpent couldn't escape. Then he saw it, the fire of the blacksmith, burning like a dragon's breath. The man set down metal hooks, perfect for a deadly trap. The crow seized one, careful not to be seen. He carried the weapon through the wind, knowing their final battle was near. Back at the nest, the mother trembled as the serpent drew closer. The serpent hissed a vow that tonight nothing would stop him. The father landed swiftly. "Tonight we end this," he cried. They crafted a trap, a deadly bait the serpent couldn't resist. They set the bait where the serpent could see it clearly. The serpent paused, meat fresh and unguarded. Slowly, hungrily, it slithered toward the deadly trap. It didn't think twice. Its hunger drowned every caution. In one gulp, the serpent devoured the bait and sealed its fate. Then it froze, pain like fire ripping through its throat. The serpent writhed, twisting in agony, unable to spit the hook out. The crows struck with fierce wings. The hunt had turned. With a final violent twist, the serpent lost its grip and fell. The terror of the treetop was no more. The forest could breathe again. The parents returned to their little ones, breathless but victorious. For the first time in many nights, the chicks slept without fear. The news spread quickly. The danger was defeated. Many feared the snake, but no one dared to fight it until now. The wise owl arrived silently on a high branch. "Strength wins battles," he said, "but wisdom wins wars." The parents thanked the owl, for his guidance had saved them all. The forest returns to life. Birds sing, leaves shimmer. Together they rebuilt, forming a new home born of survival. But peace in the forest never lasts long. Above, a falcon watched with hungry eyes. Once, twice, it circled and measured the distance to the nest. It aimed for the treetops, Mother Crow covering the chicks with her wings protectively. Mother Crow covered the chicks with her wings protectively. With a scream, the hawk dropped like an arrow from the sky, but this time, the father would not wait. He rose to meet the attack head-on, but this time, the father would not wait. He rose to meet the attack head-on. The hawk was enormous, far stronger than anything he'd faced. He spiraled downward, but with sheer will, he lifted himself again. He would not let another predator steal his family's peace. The hawk had seen weakness, and weakness to a hunter means opportunity. Mother Crow screeched loudly to warn the forest. And for the first time, the forest responded. Together they created a wall of wings, tiny but brave, the birds forming a defensive circle in the air. With a shriek, the hawk tore through the formation like a storm. One strike from the hawk's talons sent the flock into chaos, but the father did not flee. He went straight for the hawk's eyes. A brave strike, small but precise, forced the hawk to break its dive. The predator, enraged, spun in the air like a blade. Death brushed past him, so close he felt the wind of its wings. The hawk rose to the clouds. The higher it went, the deadlier it became. "Stay hidden, my little ones," she whispered, trembling. He hovered before the nest, ready to die before letting harm pass. Then the sky split. The hawk had launched its ultimate strike. For a heartbeat, two warriors raced toward each other, one giant, one small. A violent crash echoed through the forest like thunder. The blow stunned the hawk. It lost its deadly precision. Wounded and shaken, the hawk retreated. The nest was safe for now. The chicks crowded around him, unaware how close they came to danger. A warm light spread across the forest, as if honoring the victory. Those who had fled now came back, ashamed yet inspired. Then, with rare sincerity, the owl bowed. "Courage deserves respect," he answered quietly. "We protected our own, nothing more." Bit by bit, life resumed, song by song, leaf by leaf. All is peaceful once more. The family is safe. She fed them lovingly, grateful for every breath they took. He became the quiet guardian of the treetops. The little ones grew stronger, their wings catching sunlight. Lessons of survival turned into lessons of joy. The great tree became a symbol of unity, a safe haven once more. Even the wind sounded different, lighter, hopeful. He followed closely, ready to catch them if they fell. Their mother's pride echoed through every flap of her wings. A triumphant glide, the first step toward independence. For the first time in many days, the parents simply breathed. The owl returned for one final lesson. An owl speaks calmly to the young crows. The young ones absorbed every word, their future shaped by wisdom. The day slowly folded into gold and crimson. Side by side, they watched the world they fought so hard to protect. Peace had finally returned to the forest's heart. Even the stars seemed to keep watch over the nest. Their soft breaths were the sweetest reward. He knew more challenges would come, but he would face them all. Together, they were unbreakable. Their silhouettes crowned the morning light. And then, they flew free, fearless, and full of life. This was not an ending, it was a beginning. Their chicks soared into the sky. The home they defended now stood as a monument of courage. The forest thrived again, thanks to one brave family. Light touched the nest gently, a silent blessing. Heroes don't always roar. Sometimes they caw. And so ends the tale, a reminder that even the smallest wings can change the world.